Hello, Jacob Rickman here. Chances are that if you are watching this video, you've probably already seen the initial tutorial I created for Google Meet. After creating that video, I got some feedback about some additional features that people wanted me to help them with. So this is what that video is for. So let's say you've already set up a meeting, you're already in, you've already created it, and you're just trying to figure things out. You have someone in the video already, so you're just going to work on trying to figure out some of the features that are going on. So for example, right now, what I have done is I have pinned myself. So I am showing up on my screen, even though I'm in a call, I have pinned myself, so I am showing up as the primary video on my screen. You can do this with any single user. So if I click unpin here, notice then it pops to Andy Davidson there, right? So you see her on the screen as well. And then on the side here where my mouse is, we notice that there's a third user in this video, and I'm showing up kind of in this bottom top corner here. Okay, well, you can change the layout of the users as you so choose. So if there's a particular way you want to be looking at everybody, you can change it. So you just click that little three buttons there, change layout, and then you have a couple of options. By default, it'll start on auto, which means that basically anyone, both people show up next to each other side to side here. If you go in, you can choose change layout. And if you click sidebar, that's kind of what it was to start with. You have one person who sets up as the primary, and then all your remaining users will show up on the sidebar here. Your other options as well are spotlight. So whoever is there, they just show up as the primary viewing audience, and they're there. And then you're, again, just in that top corner. Everyone else is invisible at that point. And then the final one is tiled. And this is the one that kind of tries to make everyone about evenly sized. So then that way, no one person is having the primary focus of that. And of course, you can also set things to full screen. So that way you have the whole screen is being taken up by this, right? Or you can set it away from that. Now, some other little features that also are kind of nifty and important to look at. I'm just going to change it back to pinning myself here. Okay. So a few other features you have are captions. So you can turn on captions. These are text that will play and kind of talk and show what you are saying. So as you can see toward at the bottom of my screen there, it's capturing what I am saying and attempting to turn it into text. It is not foolproof, depending on how fast people are talking, whether someone has a certain kind of accent, and just different features and things and accidents that can come up. The text may be wrong. So sometimes it's good to be a little mindful of that, but if you have students who are hard of hearing, or maybe if you have someone who is not able to actually listen to what you are recording or what you're meeting about, then that is another feature that can be useful. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about is if you go up here, I mentioned the record meeting feature. So if you are trying to record things either for students to be able to view a little lesson or office hours after the fact, maybe you're doing it just for accountability to make sure there's no issues that crop up, you can click record meeting. So when you click on this, it'll ask for consent to make sure, hey, everyone who's in that meeting actually is willing to be recorded. This is something, especially if you're doing with students, you may want to be cautious about because you do want to make sure you have their consent to be recorded. And then as you see up there, it starts a little spinning icon. And then once it turns red, that means that it is actually recording your meeting. So you can record it for as long as you like. Once you're finished recording, you just click those three dots again, click up here and click stop recording. It'll ask you whether you want to stop recording that meeting, and it'll tell you it'll be saved into your Google Drive. So yes, I'm going to click stop recording. And then once you've finished, what you'll do is you can go into your Google Drive, and then a new folder will crop up called Meet Recordings. So when you click on that, you notice I have a little example video in there, right? And then that allows you to go in, you can edit the video as necessary. If you want to upload it to Google Classroom or things like that, that is an option for you. So then that way you are able to save those meetings and have them for future reference, right? Usually these recordings take a while to pop up just because it has to process everything. What I notice is it usually takes anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes. It just depends on how long the recording was and if your internet is having any sort of issues. Hopefully this tutorial has proven to be helpful. Again, if there are any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Thank you very much for your time. Stay safe out there and don't get arrested.